We were about a month into this deployment. We were in Treknawa, which is right outside Marja, Afghanistan. Little hamlet, little village, and nothing had really happened at this point. We had just done, the left seat, right seat with the unit before us, and we were trying to go out there and make a name for ourselves. Well, we got some on-the-ground intelligence that there was an improvised explosive device in a compound about 50 meters to the west of us, and we went over there. Me and my buddy John, he was my squad leader, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go looking for trouble?" And we're like, "Yeah, whatever," So we go over there and everything, and
you said, "Fuck yeah, I do."
Well, my point man, who was also my saw gunner, who also had the minesweeper, you know how it is. Normally you don't mix all those jobs together, but you got to make do with what you got, So I told him I want him to set up security. We set up around this compound. I took the minesweeper off his back.
Yeah.
And I jokingly turned around and said, "See you on the other side, guys." And I'm sweeping and everything. I'm doing my thing. I found a hoax IED, which was a metal pipe in another corner, the opposite corner. And I'm coming back through. I had stepped over the pressure plate a couple times as I was sweeping. And
stepped over it?
Stepped over it, yeah. And there was it was a low metallic pressure plate.
Right.
So
Holy shit. So I wasn't dinging.
I was getting little, but I just thought that was scraps of metal on the ground or some shit.
Like one of those fucking Italian mines or some shit, right?
Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy at all. It was, homemade explosive in a yellow jug 5 feet behind me. So it blasted off when I stepped on the pressure plate, and I remember coming back through with a hoax, and I started to shout for John, and as soon as I stepped down with my right foot, I felt the ground sink. And in my head, it kind of just it stopped. Everything stopped it went to a crawl, and I just remember going, "Fuck," because I knew exactly what happened. And as soon as it went poof, and I launched 10 feet in the air, my vision went gray. When you get blown up, the oxygen gets ripped out of your lungs. So I was like, okay, this is what's going on right now. And, muscle memory, I'm going for the tourniquet in my right cargo pocket, but my right cargo pocket's gone. So I did all I could do at the moment was I pulled my stump up and I tried to pin it to my chest as much as I could. But luckily it got cauterized, so that was fine. The aid and litter team got up to me. I asked if they swept. They said they did.
They did, and they fucking sprinted to your ass.
But that's just one of those things you're in a leadership is, hey, did you sweep for secondaries? And I'm not even thinking about my fucking self at this
point. Shut up,
dude. No, they were telling me, they're like, shut the fuck up and let us work on you. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. They hit me with the morphine and shit. But no, the corpsman was going through it. It was his first experience with a combat casualty, and he fucking did a phenomenal job, and I'm immensely proud of this dude, and he's the reason I'm here right now.
Fuck yeah, fucking props to that cat.
Yeah, they got me out of there, propped me up against the wall. I started smoking a cigarette, and I called over my saw gunner, the guy who was taking over the fire team, and I told him, I was like, I want you to remember everything that I ever taught you. Anything you saw that you liked, that you thought, was of value, I need you to keep that. I need you to pass it down to the guys in your fire team. If I did anything that you didn't fucking like if I treated you like a piece of shit somehow, or if I did something bad, I need you to remember that too. And I need you to, pass those lessons on as well. Take all the good and the bad and everything like that, and just remember it and pass it along, because that's how the Marine Corps infantry thrives. You got to pass on knowledge, to the people that are next to you, to your left, to your right, above and below you. And you get in the middle of a situation like that, and you can just pick up the reins and go. Otherwise, everyone else gets fucked,
Yep.
So, got out of there, and they threw me on a helicopter, and I flatlined for 2 minutes. And I can't even begin to describe what I saw or what I felt. It wasn't...
What was that like? We got all day, shit.
Nah, it was trippy. It was, I'll tell you what, it was everything that you guys worry about, we all worry about every single day, it's just gone.
Yeah.
It's absolute peace. It's absolute quiet. You're not happy, you're not sad, you're not angry, you're not anything. It's just, you feel like completely just one with the fucking universe. And I know it sounds like hippie Buddhist shit, whatever,
No, I get it.
That's mindfulness, right?
You're fucking dead, dude. I'm gonna listen to you. Come on.
I'm a big. I mean, I'm a big. I think
we're not gonna question you. What the fuck?
Well, you know what I mean. So I grew up in a Roman Catholic household where that was crammed down my throat. But I kind of ascribe to the scientific viewpoint of it. like matter can't be destroyed; it can only be transformed and shit. So I kind of feel like I was like, whatever, just going into the universe or some shit.
Right.
But that's about the best way I can fucking describe it.
It was acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance. This
And
is
it was it. I was like, this is happening. And
Let it go.
Here we go. And then boom, I woke up and all that shit. And
Did you wake up in the bird or did you wake up on the ground?
I woke up and there was like those lights going over my
Oh,
face
in the
hallway.
hospital,
And
yeah.
they're like, hey, we need you to. What's your last name? Your last four? I rattled it off, and then boom, I was under again.
Yeah.
And then I woke up in a cliche white room with white curtains and shit, and I'm like, is this what it is? Is this,
Yeah.
And I said hello. And this gunnery sergeant that was attached to our headquarters element comes through, and he came over and he fucking touched me, and I was just like, and I started crying. Like, it just hit me, and I started crying. And I was like, oh, I'm fucking alive. This is actually happening right now.
Yeah.
the touch, the feeling brought you back to reality.
Damn, man, it was fucking nuts.
Shit, dude.
It's a fucking trip, man. And just thinking about it, I still, it's a feeling that'll never leave me. It's an experience that'll never leave me for sure. And it absolutely fucking changed my life. I mean, in more ways than one.
Puts things in perspective now,
Yeah, and that's kind of like, I'm looking back on it. I'm kind of upset with my behavior in a lot of ways. After my injury, because I got granted this huge fucking second chance, and I was squandering it for years.
Yeah, dude, but you didn't have any tools how to deal with it, so
Yeah, that's true.
you cut yourself a bit of a break. You knew,
Yeah, and-
you knew what fucking booze would do.
Yeah.
So you needed to fucking cure some shit, so you cured it with that until you fucking got some other tools. I got you, man.
Yeah,
Don't
and
be hard on yourself.
Well, I'm not
did what
hard
you
on-
did. Yeah,
Like I absolutely accept. I've done what I've done. I've been through what I've been through. I can't change a motherfucking thing.
now, but you can help some fucking cats out, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's all I want to do, and that's what I hope I can do. Every
You
single day.
are doing. That's what you are doing.
Thanks.
No, thank you, man. I am a dick. That's right, motherfucker. Get used to it.
It's English, man. Just leave it alone.
No, just no. And you know as well as I do, man. Guys, they fucking have a hard time accepting fucking compliments, and the fucking reality is you fucking help somebody. There's some cat out there that sees what you went through, follows you on social media, whatever the fuck, and he's just like, this dude's doing it, I can do it too. And you might never know about that. Who gives a fuck about that? But the reality is you're putting the right message out there, and you're doing the fucking deal all day, every day. You're not trying. You're doing it. There's a big difference.
I appreciate that, man.
No, we appreciate it, bro. We're glad to have you here.
Thanks, dude.
Special human, man. Especially like how you said, this big essence of accountability.
Yeah.
That you want fucking your juniors to keep passing forward.
Yeah.
As well with yourself, you're being accountable today. Those negative experiences are positive experiences, because then you can't tell anyone, hey, I went through it. I mean, if you came out here jolly, then it'd be like, what the fuck? What a fake,
But not only that,
fake
dude.
shit is
Especially
that-
guys have been a couple places.
Yeah.
You don't fucking learn anything unless it hurts. You're not gonna fucking learn it unless it fucking hurts. And then when you get through that shit, and you're like, all right, you can talk to those guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing now if I didn't learn. If I
Right.
didn't fall like 20 million times and fuck up.
Right.
I'm
It's-
here now because of all of my fuck ups.
And that's why when fucking vets are talking to other vets or whoever you're talking to in that kind of situation, how can you fucking listen to somebody who hasn't been there? How can you tell me how to deal with something if you haven't been there? All you got is fucking theory. Don't tell me about your fucking opinion, asshole. Tell me about your experience.
And that actually used to I used to walk around with a big chip on my shoulder.
Right.
And I realized also, like kind of what you were saying before, like there's a lot of negative emotion, and you don't want to latch onto that. And again, her, kind of teaching me and guiding me with that. It was, if someone doesn't understand your circumstances, if someone doesn't or can't or ever will understand your circumstances or what you've been through, that's not their fault. They may be ignorant to what you're going through, and that's fine. But you can't fault them for it, and that's kind of the mindset that I have adopted and I've ascribed to, and it's actually helped me out because I'm not stressing over. I used to be, well, I lost my leg in the fucking GAN. Fuck you. You haven't chewed my dirt, kind of shit, and it wasn't doing anything but draining me.
Right.
Like, that's just more added stress. I'm developing stress for myself. Like, who gives a fuck if some guy doesn't like what I do with myself, or he wants to talk shit? I'm like, well, let him talk shit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect me at the end of the day. At the end of the day, everyone needs to be.
Well, he has his own lessons to learn. And I'm not the one. I don't got the energy to be the one to teach him the lesson
Exactly.
either. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
but-
man.
and
Everybody's
only
got to
that-
walk their own fucking path. and
Same
figure
follow
themselves
me.
out.
And not only that, anybody who talks fucking negative shit about anyone else, that's not about that person. That's what they have going on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And some people are just fucking condemned to that. And so be it. You want to be a negative piece of fuck? Go ahead. Go do it somewhere else.
You could just dump them by the river.
That's right. Feed them to the fucking pigs, right?
So, a great thing as well that we see from your following is those never really a negativity towards your service. There was always still humbleness and respect about even getting back in the fight in any way that you can. What's the most valuable lesson you took from your service?
You always ask that.
No, that was the oral sex reference that you guys missed. It was funny.
Oh, put it in the mic.
Right. Jason was feeding it to him. Never mind.
Trying to keep composure, but you guys are fucking monkeys.
That's right.
No, you're fine. It's
Just put the fucking lotion in the basket.
It's episode 19, guys. Get it together.
I don't know.
At least what's something that you take from your service that you use today?
Everything. Absolutely everything. Like just like I was telling my guys when I got hurt, like all the good and the bad, like the shitty leadership that I got, the shitty leadership I may have exuded. Like I know, and I was cognizant enough to see when I was fucking up or I made a mistake, especially in like a frenetic situation like a firefight. You learn on the fly, you figure it out. But then you can also take those, lessons, apply them back here at home, figure out how to charge into a situation, when to be tactful, that kind of shit. Humility, being humble, basic shit.
That's a lot. It's a lot. It raised you.
Yeah.
You were raised in the military.
Yeah, I mean, I sure shit didn't get raised by my parents that well, so that's kind of where
even
I grew
then,
up.
you can see the distinction between, those that were reared through society and those that were reared through structure. There's a fucking clear distinction.
Yeah.
So along that you talked about so much negativity, there's a lot of positivity. What are some of the influences that drive you?
Well, the number one is, like I mentioned before, my girlfriend Christy. She's definitely the biggest motivating factor for me. She's been my biggest support system. Even
Christy,
when I was,
come here. Pull
even
up
when I was
get
like,
on that stool. Come on, Christy.
up on the stool.
No, wait, because there's a couple
Nobody
of people
can
out
see
there.
us.
It's the Christy and Rory episode. Come on.
Yeah.
well, like even when I was like at my lowest,
Hit that paddle on the chair there so you could drop it down a bit. There you go. It's not working? Try the other one.
It's not working.
It's another paddle somewhere.
That's all right.
square peg round hole.
I broke it. There you go.
There you go.
But yeah, no, even when I was at my lowest and I wasn't deserving of love or any kind of sympathy or anything like that.
So you think, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like even if I was acting like an absolute monster, she stood by me.
Patience. How long you guys been together?
Almost 2 years now.
2 years?
Yeah.
Nice. You get to see him, when he was wallowing in shit.
If you want to word it that way.
It's the only way to word it.
Yeah.
Come to the microphone.
That's all we got.
Microphone.
Yeah. So, there we go. You're good.
So I'm trying to just open up I'm trying to go into a different direction here. I'm trying to open up somewhat of another fan base, another demographic. I think there's a lot of women that support individuals such as ourselves. And honestly, they're a big deciding factor, a big factor in who we are and how we overcome certain obstacles, especially the wars we wage within our mind. And it cannot possibly be the easiest fucking thing in the world. So my question to you was this a decision you made through thick or thin, no matter what, you're going to stick around, even if it gets ugly at times?
Absolutely. I grew up, all of my best friends, all of my closest, when you have people in your life, those go-to people, they were all Marines for me. All of my best friends. So I may have had an upper hand getting into the relationship.
Yeah.
I already understood things that maybe your average person or, I'm going to say person and not even girlfriend, take away a dating relationship, just people. I think there's, you can look out on the street, there's how many people walking around, they don't give any mind to the person next to them. You sit down next to somebody on the subway, you don't give a shit about their life, you want your seat and you want people to leave you alone. So for me, I've always had, my personality, people joke, I have the biggest dick in the room. So I I naturally put it. Sorry, Jay. So I mean, my personality.
I did not react well to that. He called that.
He's like, fuck, another one.
Now we know you do. Don't worry about it. We're good.
But I mean, simply, one of my very best friends, John, he's done 3 deployments, you know, and I saw him come back. The first one was what I look at as like the fixer, because, you know, something propels you into war. And he came back, and I would quote unquote call him fixed, you know, and anything that had been wrong in his life prior, he had fixed it. He found a drive, he found a mission. And the second one, I was a little worried, and he grew up, the second one. And the third deployment, he came back and he had a death wish. You know, I pulled him out of the street a couple times. You know, we'd be at a bar, we'd be with friends, and I'd find him literally playing in traffic.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm accustomed. I understand. I'm sympathetic.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be empathetic. I've gone through my own things, which I think that's why we work so well together. I say we're 2 years in, basically. And the first year, I was the shoulder, and now he's mine. I mean, I chose a law enforcement route, so it's a little bit different. It's the war
Do you
at
have
home.
a gun on you right now?
Yes, sir.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
Good job.
I can't tell you. We have movement.
There is more yeah, but
Oh, that makes me fucking happy. It does. It does.
it's a 50-50. It's a game of balance. I think we manage well.
That's good. That's glad.
Well,
I'm glad to hear
you
that.
talked about that death wish, and I'm not trying to disagree with you. I would like to throw out there that it's not so much a death wish. You get this fucking adrenaline thing turned on inside of you.
Yeah.
You know where that
Can't
fucking
find it
animal
anywhere
lives,
else,
right?
yeah.
And there's only a couple things that'll bring that out. And when you're used to that, some guys turn heavy into booze and drugs or whatever, and some guys turn into adrenaline, and you know that's just what that is. It's not so much he's trying to get killed; he just wants to get back to that place.
Well,
Yeah.
there was definitely
Yeah.
a darker
Yeah. Yeah, I just
factor to that, but I do understand both
yeah.
aspects of that.
Oh no,
but
I get you. I'm just throwing it out
Yeah.
there because there's a fucking animal that lives in you, and when you wake that fucker up, man, and if you don't realize it's in there, and you come back and you don't know how to deal with it.
You're aware.
Yeah.
You're aware of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a big issue for me was getting pushed past that point and then having a different perspective or altered reality.
Yeah.
Where you knew what human beings are capable of.
Yeah.
And then from there, ever since then, we adopted this thing that they call hyper awareness.
And this shit out here doesn't qualify.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where, you know, and where you can't turn it off because you know it happened in a split second.
Yeah.
You know what I
anything
mean?
can
Whatever.
happen anytime.
And you refuse to fall victim to anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's hard to be comfortable in a situation where you're supposed to be at peace. It's just almost impossible because you know there are a freaking million possibilities that could occur at any instance, and you're trying to prepare for each one of those. And it's hard. It's that you burn out of your senses almost.
You should have seen us on the subway right here.
Yeah.
We were both. And I'm catching
Flying
him,
off
and he's
the train.
catching me, and
Yeah.
I'm looking this way.
That's
I'm making
different.
sure that if I have to do that he's
Intersecting
not going to be in the
fields
way.
of
That's right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean,
The one train sucks. That's why Steve doesn't even take that
Like,
shit.
there's nothing-
Fucking sucks.
I love that shit, man. Fucking wackadoodles never fuck with me.
I took my
There's like
girlfriend,
dicks everywhere on that
I took-
train.
Yes.
Low
no,
key.
notice he goes right to dicks every time. It's
Yo, when
weird.
I was coming up here, there was this homeless dude sitting in a fucking wheelchair, and I know he was touching it. I know he was touching it. He was looking, because everyone was looking at him, and he's looking at me. I'm like, oh, I'm here to join the party. Fuck.
he had the thick jacket.
Do you need a hand?
I asked him too. He was like, I'm like, what are you taking the one to
You
A?
asked him
And
if he
then-
needed a hand?
No, I asked Steve, you taking the one to A? He's like, the A. I was like, fuck. I'm fucking fucked. All right. Saw dick.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think actually, you know what, in this day and age, I think that's a great example to set for couples as well, where you're both aware of the possibilities of anything that can happen. Like, you know, why be a victim?
Yeah.
You know, think about it.
I mean, it's been there's obviously difficult times, and it's normal in any relationship, you know, to have difficult times. But it's where we're going.
You're you're never gonna overcome that until you felt that moment of helplessness where your life was in another individual's hands.
Yeah.
And you felt at any minute that person could take that life from you.
Yeah.
After that, you start thinking differently. You start wondering, what could I do next time to never feel so vulnerable again?
Yeah.
And I think as a couple, she's got your back, you got her back. It's teamwork.
Yeah.
It's 2 sets of eyes, it's 4 eyeballs.
Only 3 legs though, so it's kind of hard to
Now say that again. We didn't hear you.
No, but it's
Come
three.
on,
it's,
say it again. Come on.
She said it's only 3 legs, but it's 3 legs. No, dude.
Butt hurt.
No, fuck that.
That was some funny fucking shit
was
right
good
there.
money.
She doesn't hold back at all.
I like it.
No, dude, fuck that. It's 3 legs and a robot leg, motherfucker.
Dude, with 2 fucking computers and shit.
Hell yeah, dude.